evening, everyone, and welcome to Touch of Cake Shumudara, Port Harcourt. My name is Mrs. Kate Edith. I'm the CEO of Touch of Cake Shumudara, Port Harcourt. Okay, so once again, you're welcome to our online bag class. Okay, so we're actually going to be working on a bag cake, a fondant bag cake. We're going to be working on this cake, okay, in particular. Now, this is a normal bag. I just downloaded, okay? So we're going to be working on this. We'll try and get almost exactly this, okay? Remember, it's a cake, not a real bag. We want to try and replicate this, okay? So that's what we're going to be on. Now we're going to make use of a size 10 square cake, okay? These are size 10 square cake. We're going to structure them. Now we're going to make use of our rolling pin, our serrated knife to trim, our scissors, our paper cutter. You can get this from a bookshop, okay? They have in different sizes. Also our floral wire. This is gauge 18, our scissors, our dough rod cutter, our ruler. This is the chain mold, our black and white fondant, our CNC, our pizza cutter, and our vegetable chopping. So along the line, because of the time, I have no motion, I'm going to measure. So now I'm going to be trimming the cake. Okay, so when you're working on any cake, it's always good to study your cakes, okay? Like I said, we're working on the bag. I showed you the bag we're actually working on, okay? So now we're going to be trimming this cake. I told you this is size 10 square, so we're going to be leveling them, because before you start sculpturing your cake, it's good to level, okay, and get a smooth trimming before you start to sculpture your cake. So now we're going to be leveling this cake and we cut, okay? Alright, so I'm going to trim. First we're going to level the three cakes. I'm doing a size 10 because that's the size I want. You can do a size 12, you can do a size 8. It depends on the size of the bag. Okay, if you do a size 8, you have a smaller bag. If you do a size 10, definitely it should be bigger than the size 8. When you do a size 12, then you have a bigger one, okay? So it depends on, so don't say because I actually did size 10, that we're doing size 10, okay? It all depends on what the client wants or what your client wants, okay? Okay, so I'm just going to level the three cakes, okay? So when I'm done, I'll get back to you guys. Okay, so you see I'm done leveling the cake. So now I'm going to cut them into two pieces or whatever you want to call it. And see, if I'm going to cut after measuring it. And remember, we're doing a cake that is having like a cone shape or like a rectangular cone shape. Okay, so it means we have a thinner up and a wider down. Good. Now this is 10 size. If I decide to cut it 5-5, like cut it into two equal parts, it means I'm going to have a straight cake, and which will only give me much wideness underneath. And the top will, I'll have to make some of the cakes by trimming the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 5.6, okay? So I'm going to measure this 5.6 with my measuring tape. You can come closer a little. Okay, I'm going to just mark it. You see I've marked it. I'm going to cut this one from here. I'll do the same thing. 5.6. So it means this one is 5.6, this is 3.9. Okay? That will give us 10. Okay? So now I'm going to cut this one just two equal parts. 5. Good. So I'm just going to cut. Follow the markings. Follow the markings. Cut. So now once I remember, okay, like in my other online classes, I normally tell them when I'm doing my fondant cakes, I don't put buttercream in between my cakes, okay? Alright, so now you see I'm going to start arranging them. So this is what we have. When you're arranging, you start with the bigger sizes. Remember this is the 5.6, this is the 5.6. So this is what I'm going to do. That's the first. I'm going to the second. Good. So we also have 5.5. You see it? We're already having a cone shape. Okay? Now we have 3 point something here, 3.9. So you see that I already have that shape even before trimming, okay? Alright, so this height looks okay to me, okay? If I want it higher, fine, I'll just put this. But I don't want it so high, so I think I'm okay with this height. So I think I'm just going to do just this, alright? So that's that for that. So now I will start to trim. So when I want to trim, I'll get back to you guys. Okay, so now I want to trim our cakes, okay? Alright, so I'm just going to trim this part. Okay, so you see, trying to get our back shape. Okay, so you see, we're already having our shape. So you carefully check. Don't be in a hurry when you're trimming, mostly when you're sculpturing your cakes. Don't over trim, because if you over trim, you discover that you have a smaller cake at the end of it all. Okay, so you just gently, if possible, while trimming, you can check the picture, whatever you're using. Because what I do is, most time when I want to do any cake, mostly if it's a cake, a sample was not given to me, I want to create something, I'll just download what I want to create, like I downloaded this bar, okay, because of the online class. So you can be checking, but I already know what to do. So for those of you that might just want to try for the first time, or that are not used to it already, okay, try and make sure you make use of your phone. You check, you're very sure, okay, you're getting, they're not like, you just, okay, I've seen that start trimming, so you don't end up getting something that you actually did not plan for. So I'm just going to trim carefully. Okay. Trim sides gently. Just make sure your hand is very straight. Okay, so we have our bag. Okay, alright. So that's as I'm going to compose, okay? We'll start. So this is our bag. I'm going to door it. So just put a door rod and you trim, okay? Before you start covering, make sure it's hidden before you start covering. So this is what we have. You see, we already have our bag shape. So we just need to now decorate it with my fondant, alright? Because I'm going to compose. When I'm done composing, I'll come, then start to cover. I'm done composing. I put my doer in two places. So I just left this one for you. So I want to put the last one. So you just put, you see, sure it's touching the board. You mark it, bring it out a little, and cut it beneath the markings. Because we really don't want our doer to poke out from our fondant. Did you get? So with this one, I'm not scared. No matter what I'm taking to it won't fall off. It won't collapse, okay? Alright, so these are black fondant. I just cut from it. When I'm doing my handbag, I normally like adding extra CMC to my fondant, okay? So you see that firmness and it makes it look like a real leather when you're done. So I'm just needing with corn flour, I'm just using little corn flour to knead. Another thing, we're going to cover this cake in this part. I will cover this part and this part, okay? Before we'll cover this part and this part. Remember the bag we're doing is an open bag, not like a bag, a closed bag, okay? So it's like an open bag. So we're starting with this part and this part, then this part and this part, okay? Alright, so I've measured here. So when you want to cover cakes like this, what you do is you measure. I measure this place. This is 10. You see, it's 10-inch high, okay? Now this one, the same 10-inch high. So the wideness of this is, you see, this is 5.5. So we have 10 by 5.5. Then where we have 10 by 9.5. Because we're starting with this. Actually, if we have 10 by 5.5, it means we also have 10 by 5.5 here. So what I'm just going to do now is to knead my fondant, okay? I'm going to roll. So after rolling, I'll cover, okay? And also, because we are doing an open bag, I'm also going to cover this top first with a very thin fondant, okay? So that when you see the cake, or when the owner of the cake sees the cake, okay, she doesn't really see a plain cake, like a cake that is not covered. It looks like a real bag. So I'm going to be covering this piece with a very thin black fondant. I'll just roll it to thin fondant and cover this before I do the normal covering, okay? Alright, so I'm going to roll this fondant. When I'm done rolling, I'll get back to you guys. So this is what we'll have. I'm done with my fondant, you see? So I just rolled my fondant. You see how thick it is? It should be thick. And you see it's already thin. I told you I normally, when I'm doing my back, there's some cakes I do, I add more CMC to my fondant I've already made, okay? So you see it's firm. Remember I told you I was going to do a thin fondant just to put on top. So you see this one is thinner than this. So these two are going to both sides. I remember we measured, we had almost 10 heights, okay, by 5.5, right? Okay, so now see what we have. We have 6 white, we have extra, and we have 10.5. So we have extra. Same, likewise this. Okay, so this one, very thin fondant, okay, so I'm just going to put it I'm just working with my hand. Now there's something I do when I'm working on cakes, when I'm also teaching. I love doing freehand. Yes, I'm not used to everything. Use your mold, get a stencil, or sorry, get a template. No, I try to use freehand because most of the times a lot of us don't have all these things, all those tools, that you need. So most times I try to work freehand so that with your cake, your already baked cake, and your fondant, your pizza cutter, your scissors, your rolling pin, you're good to go. Okay, all right. So that's that for now. So now we're going to be fixing both sides. I'm going to start with this. You see how thick it is? You see the way I'm taking it? You see it? As if I'm putting a real leather. It's actually our fondant. And please, always try to work with a pliable fondant. Make sure you have a good fondant recipe. Okay? So, you can use your smoother, you can use your hand. Okay? But it's best to use your smoother. Is that with my smoother? So what I'm going to do now is I'll just cut. Let me cut one part. Close. See, you see how it's cutting? You need a very firm fondant to do this. If your fondant is not firm, you can't do it. So that's why you need extra CMC, okay? Good. So now I'm going to be covering both sides, okay? So I'm going to roll my fondant when I'm done. I'll get back to you guys. Okay, so you see, I've done this part, okay? So what I just did was to roll my fondant, okay, and I measured. So I want to show you how I did this. I did it on that part, same way, okay? So I just did this part for you to see. So this is how I actually, or this is how I achieved this, okay? You see, standing from, I told you I normally have extra CMC to my fondant. Most of when I'm working on bags like this, okay? Alright, so this is my fondant I've rolled. You see, it's thick, it should be very thick. Okay, now I measured. Now remember I have this is for giving us 10, right? But we have more than 10 here. So we have 11.5. Now the reason is that you see we have this one coming out. It has to exceed. We're not locking the bag. So it's like an open bag, that's what we're creating. So we need extra because it's that extra that will exceed and stand like your open bag, okay? And we are done. So this is what we have. You see we have 11.5. In place of 10. Then here, remember we have almost 10. So here we have more than. So we'll have extra, we'll trim it out. So what we'll just do is we take water. Okay. So water. Just putting water on your fondant so that when you put your fondant, it will stick. Okay, so just pick this. Okay. So if you see it's not even, you can trim any part you want to trim, okay? And you can also put fondant in between, okay? Or if you have tissue, serviette, whatever you want to put, just put in between so that when it's dried you can remove it so it doesn't collide. No matter how you put things, you still need time for it to, for it to be firm, okay? So just want you to put fondant here. I'll pull it out when we're done. So we'll have the mouth remain open. See? When we are done, I'm going to remove this fondant. I just want you to help me very firm. Good. So I'll do same for this other part. If you notice, we'll be working with free hand. Just make sure it's smooth level. Whenever you feel it's too high, okay, you just trim out a little. If you feel okay, this part is not the same, with this, you can trim out, okay? So I'm going to trim here a little. This because it's higher than the left. So this is what you just do. Check. Okay, so now I want to trim the excess. So we have excess here. So I want to trim it off. I'm going to stay here to trim this so that it sits. Okay. I work a lot with corn flour. When we are done, you won't see any drop of corn flour. Remember, you can steam your cake when you clean. Some use edible spirit, some use vegetable oil. So it depends on what you want. They are all edible. Me, at times I use vegetable oil, at times I use steaming and my steamer. The edible spirit, whatever you want to use, okay? You can also use your vegetable shortening, okay? So but I love working with corn flour. So now you see a lot of corn flour. When we are done, you see that we see our real black. Okay, so you see we're done with this. So now I want to get the white part, okay? So I'm just going to leave my white. I'm going to add little CMC like I told you. Just a little drop of CMC. Just to make it firm on time, okay? So I didn't know I was doing a normal cake, like my normal round cake, normal birthday cake. I won't add extra. It's just in my normal fondant recipe, do my normal fondant. But if I'm working on bags, on cakes like that, like bags, you know, I make use of extra CMC. So that it firms up on time. So I'm just going to clean my work surface, roll my white, okay, so I will start putting our white designs, okay? Alright. Okay, so you see, I have my white fondant, you see it, I've rolled, you see it's firm. Okay, why I had to add extra CMC on this is because I want when I cut, my lines are straight. I'm now doing some extra that are dragging out, did you get? So when you are doing anything that you need to do stripes, it's good you add extra CMC to your fondant. It gives you that firmness. When you cut, you get a straight line, okay? Alright, so we want to create our lines as stripes, you see? We want to do our white stripes on both back, front, and the sides, okay? You're working on the cake, you do it bit by bit, okay? So that's what we want to do now. Alright, so then also, I want to use my ruler to measure. If I use my ruler, I want to try and get the number of stripes I will have. If I use my ruler, okay? So like, okay, one white, black, white, you see that I will have more than the number of stripes I will have here. So it means I need bigger stripes, okay? So I want to make use of this my big mold just for the cost of measurement. But if I use this one, you discover that I have just only 2 stripes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use 2 lines, okay? I'm going to just measure 2 lines. So it means I'm going to cut the first one. Now I'm going to cut my white, okay? I'm just going to level this first. Remove this part, okay? So you see, we have straight lines. See how straight it is? That's why I like making use of CMC and cutting stripes. So what I'm going to use 2 lines to measure. Good. I just have to be sure. So I can just mark another 2 lines. Mark, good. Another 2 lines. So I'm measuring from here, okay? Mark. So I'm actually going to mark them, okay? When I'm done marking, I'll just cut. When I want to cut, I'll get back to you guys. Okay, so you see, I'm done marking, so I just want to cut out. My hands are kind of like straight because I'm used to cutting like this. Please, you can use your ruler or use anything to demarcate so that you don't make mistake while cutting, okay? Don't say because I did not put anything to mark it as in anything to block me from making mistake or from bending it while cutting it. You now say you want to do what I did. So please, if you are not sure your hands are straight, you see how straight, you see how firm it is. How straight. That's why I like putting them like I said. Okay, so I'm just going to cut following what I marked. Gently, when working on the cake, you don't need to be in a hurry. See, I'm following the markings, okay? Okay, all right. So soon next is also start pasting them, okay? All right. Okay, so you see I'm done cutting our stripes, okay? So now I want to start putting them. So you see it started with white. It started with white, so I'm starting with white, okay? So you put water gently, not much. It's better the water is not enough, then you put, remember I'm working with black and white so that you don't stain your white. So I'm going to take the first one. Okay, the color is wider so I can still add more water. Not much, please. Okay, so I've done with one. Now I'm going to use this to measure, to know where to put the next one. So that our measurement, okay, the stripe will be accurate. Okay, so I'm going to take the next one. clean this one. I'm going to clean it. So I'm going to do same. I'm going to do same. Okay, so you have white. Perhaps. So this is what we have. So I'm going to repeat same for the back, okay? When I'm done repeating the same for the back, I'll get back to you guys.